A very blessed day, everyone. Greetings to you in the name of the Father, the Creator, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod-He, Vahu-He, Elohim, God in our modern day name, and in the name of the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah. This is Neophyte DAG bringing you another message from the series Heavenly Signs, but we're going to cover sun and moon signs before the great sign and the Messiah, the Son of Man, Prince Louis, is revealed. Heavenly sun sign and moon signs. That's what we're going to focus on today. And as always, we take it from Luke 21:25, which tells us there shall be signs in the sun, in the moon, in the stars. There also will be signs upon the earth, signs in the ocean, signs of the nations, because we're going through the tribulation time. We're going through the calamity time. We're going through the judgment time. So all these signs will be put there for those who know of the signs, to be aware of what's happening and the timing of what's happening. Luke 21 tells you sun sign and moon sign. That's what we're going to concentrate on today, because those signs have already been triggered, but we're just not aware of it. So once they're triggered, we have to move to Luke 21 verse 28. When these signs begin to manifest themselves, look up to the sky so you know what's up there for you to see, and there's something coming there for you to see as well that you don't want to miss. So look up, constantly look up in the sky and see what's going on. And with what we're going to cover today, you shall be looking up to the skies, because all the information you need is in the sky already, waiting for you to claim it, waiting for you to reclaim it. Look up, my people, and lift your head up. Lift your head up in your spiritual connectivity back to the heavenly realm of the Father, which is in the heavens as well. So now you have to start turning your thoughts and your action back to the plan of the Most High, back to the laws of the Most High, back to the righteous way of the Most High. And if and when you do those, you have to do it with love, because love covers all the laws of the Most High. You do things in love, you're covered. Lift your head up, my people, for your redemption, your reclamation, your resurrection, your exodus, your great sign draw near. So don't miss these signs. Keep your head up, look up. Now let's go into this message. The return of this star, Red Kachina, if you read the Hopi prophecy. And the Hopis were people of color, native to America. So it's your story given back to you. And they're telling you when these signs begin to occur, it will be the alarm clock. Just as how I am the alarm clock now to give you, my brothers and my sisters, my fellow men and fellow women, that wake-up call, saying the time of the Most High draw near. Lift your head up and raise your eyes to the sky, because the new day is coming. It's not a single day. It's a new age, as written in on the back of your $1 bill. That new age is coming when the eagles and the dragon, the red dragon, shall be conquered, and a new way of life shall come forth from that conquering. When they're judged, when the 12 calamities are poured out on them, when the 10 plagues are poured out on them, that will usher in your new day, your new way of life, and the new world that Jacob shall take over from Esau. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9 tells you the end of this world belongs to Esau, the red one, the one that tied himself to the red dragon and is of the Caucasian complexion. His world ends with the tribulation, and the world that cometh after, that new world, belongs to Jacob. the people of color. So know that when these signs are approaching, know that when these signs occur, know that when these signs end, it's marking your transition and the planet's transition from darkness into light. And it's going to happen over a 7-year period. We're deep in that 7-year period because that 7-year period started in 2017. Now we get to what's causing the sun signs and the moon signs before the great sign. What's causing the sun sign and the moon sign before the great sign? It takes us to Revelation 22, verse 13, which tells you, I am the Alpha, which is the beginning, and the Omega, which is the ending. That's what I am. The beginning and the ending, the first and the last. We're in an Alpha and Omega system. That's what your first seal all the way to 7th seal is. First is the Alpha. 7th is the Omega. But the Omega starts at the beginning of the opening of the 7th seal. That's when this period has to end and the time of light has to come through. So the darkness started at the Alpha time and it has to come to an end at the Omega time, which brings us to the keys of Enoch. That's where you have to close out all your karma at the Omega time. You come on this planet, people. This planet is a school. It's also a quarantine zone where you get to work out and you get that opportunity for your soul to move from a physical state to a mental state and a spiritual state. And at the end of the Omega, you have to connect all three of them to work as one body, one unit. Physical, mental, spiritual has to connect as one. That's your purpose here on this planet, learning during those 6,000 years. When you move into the 6,000 to 7,000 year, that's when the Omega kicks in, and now you get a chance to live a life with all three of those combined in one. During the 6,000, they were living apart. They were not joined as one. You knew yourself as a physical being. You didn't know that your mental thought creates all the reality that you've been creating, because you've been creating a whole bunch of messy reality, not knowing that you are the ones who created it. And the controllers who know this information give you the impression they are creating those realities for you. They are in the background, but it cannot be created unless you co-create with them. And that's what they had you doing, being a good co-creator of their reality. But that's done. The new age is coming where now you're going to create righteousness as you see fit, from the word of the Lord, from the laws of the Lord, from the covenant of the Lord, from the statutes of the Lord, and from love, where you're not creating things that are impeding and hindering your brothers and sisters, starving them out, making war against them, declaring them unfriendly, and making yourself hostile to everyone. None of that. And using usury to rob them of their money and all kind of different things to make them work to a grind until they drop dead, and you're getting all the benefit and shoving them off to the side. That is done. No more co-creating of that mental manifestation that has been handed to you, because now you're going to create righteously and with love. With that love, you'll make sure your brothers and your sisters have everything that they need, just as how you would want them to make sure you have everything you need. And coupling that with the Spirit, always drawing on the Spirit, the Holy Spirit that's around you, so it gives you all the knowledge that is of knowledge, all the wisdom that is of wisdom, and it's going to give you the power that's connected back to the Most High that He gave you. He gave you the masculine power. He gave you the feminine power. The positive, the negative, it doesn't mean it's negative. It means that two poles have to be present in making sure you're connected back to your spiritual self so you can make sound mind decision with your mental while you're in this physical form. That's the time now we're going through, and it's graduation time. Once you get to the Omega, that's graduation date. Some will graduate, some won't, but the opportunity is given to everyone to graduate from that lower self that has been driving them, have been leading them all their life. So the soul has to break past that lower soul, which is a physical soul connected back to the physical being, and transcends itself to the spiritual soul connected back to the Father, the fifth dimension, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth dimension, and back to the Father's kingdom. That's what it is. That's where now it's time for you to show that you can earn your eternal life. No more you will be trapped into karma, cause and effect, because you have an eternal life. We go to Keys of Enoch 306 because the end of this Omega cycle program marks the beginning of when you shall earn back that body that you need to move back to your Father kingdom. So you have to show that into light, the soul can move with that light and transcend from that lower self. You have a couple of choices to make. You're placed in one or several step functions. You're placed in a position where you have to show that you can attune to the light coming through from the sun at this point in time. If not, you're going to be pushed back into class. Again, you're going to have to go repeat one or several steps back into the class. That's what happened to these Luciferic beings and the fallen angels. They were kicked back into the lower grade, and they decided to come into the lower grade and wreak havoc on those who were in school at that time, and they've been doing it ever since. But you have to harmonize with the light that's seeping through the sun now, my people. Calm yourself down. Silence your mind of all these negative things that are affecting your life and keeping you in a negative state of mind, keeping you in chaos, confusion. You have to eliminate that as best as you can and bring harmony, tranquility, and love into your life. It's very critical, my brothers and sisters, at this time for you to attune yourself with light, with righteousness, with a way that doesn't see you upset every day, angry every day, under tension every day, warring and fighting every day, holding on to negative things and keep repeating those things in your life, in your day-to-day discussion and carrying it over. Release those things. Release any hate, anger, fear, or whatever you're holding against yourself and others. Release it and bring love in. Tell those issues, I release you now. Love, come in and fill that space. Let love guide you, because love covers all the laws of the Most High. And I'll explain that later. Now, the sun and the moon. Let's talk about the sun and the moon. There was no sun, my people. Before the last 6,000 years, there was no sun. There was no need for a sun, because there's a spiritual sun behind the whole screen. We're screened in a quarantine zone, people. There's a spiritual sun radiating beyond that zone. We're locked in that zone because when you go to school during a certain time, these negative, dark beings are going to hijack the school and try to make the students into negative beings. And the Most High and the Creator God cannot afford for the new students to lock themselves into negative with all that spiritual energy attached to them. So you're given a sun system, a physical sun system. There was no sun. You were permeated on by the spiritual sun that covered you. It came through the astral window. That's where you go now at night when you sleep. That's the astral realm. It will come through that realm, radiate upon you, and give you all the life force that you need, or the etheric energy or the magnetic energy that you need. The planet did not revolve around their axis. It did not at all. Nor did the sun. There wasn't any revolving sun. That central sun and the spiritual suns that go with it were there radiating constantly on you. Everything drew its energy from the cosmic spiritual sun, the divine sun. It's still there waiting for you to graduate so you can get back that energy when the sun is removed later on. When the fall of man occurred, when these dark beings invaded the planet, there was a change. The source of energy, that spiritual sun, was cut off because the negative was rushing in on the planet, and the spiritual beings could not afford for that negative to overwhelm the entire system. So they cut it off. Only the physical plane, which is the third dimension of this planet, had gotten affected by it, and they locked off the third dimension in that negative. And you have to work your way back to get into the non-physical plane. That's why now you have to merge your fleshly physical self back with your mental, creating good thoughts so you can connect back to your spirit, so you can move out of the sun system. Because negative is only in the physical realm, the one that we're in right now, that quarantine zone. That's why I'm coming to you to tell you your energy, your true source of energy, which is a life force, has been cut off with the sun. It's been split in two types of energy. They didn't give it to you as one. Two source of energy was cut into. The positive end of it created your sun. The negative energy from that spiritual sun created your mood. And it's your job on this planet to bring those two energy together within you, because you need them together as one in you. Your Father created you both masculine, male, and female. He created you. So you have to bring the sun's energy and the moon energy together within you to be at one again. Isaiah 30 verse 26. Moreover, the light of the moon is the same as the light of the sun. People, they're the same size, they're the same distance away from this planet, no matter what or who come with any other information, because I'm going to give you proof from the Bible. So if you want to rely on man, which gets his information from Lucifer, go by all means. But when you're done with that information, if you do decide to take that on, come back to what the Most High and the Lord has been telling you about the planet they set up. Lucifer didn't set this up. He's one of those that was kicked back into school. He's one of those that was kicked back to the lower grade. How can he come now and come teach? You got to go back to the source to get the information. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun. They're the same size, the same distance, same purpose. Moon, negative. Sun, positive. They're having the two energy. The moon has the negative energy. The sun has the positive energy. Feminine and masculine energy have to be combined with you on this planet. The light of the sun shall be sevenfold. 7 different elements make up the sunlight that you're getting. The positive energy that's radiating from the sun radiate the atmosphere that has 7 layers of gases on it in the fire zone of your atmosphere, creating you sunlight. We'll stop at that for this verse for right now. We'll dig some more into it. But going forward, realizing now, man and woman, your star, the sun, is a buffer. Let me make it clear again. The sun was set up as a buffer to draw back the amount of light, the amount of information that was being streamed to you, because light is a transductor. Light is a conductor of information. Information is sent through light. That's how you get your information for your internet, your this, your that. But that's man information, spiritual information that's connected back to the source is sent through light. You are a photon being person. You're a being of light. So you get your information fed to you through light. The sun is a buffer which reduces the strength of that light because they part the light in two pieces. You're not getting it as a whole. They send the positive to the sun, the negative to the moon. You now have to pull that information together. But at this time, one of the signs is we're sending you now the information as a whole because we're moving the sun buffer gradually, sending you more information. So the buffer, which shuts out direct input and output messages from the source. That's what your sun is. It's a reducer, a cut down, a shut off, a valve to throttle down the information that's going in, that's coming to you, or you're sending out in your prayer and your thoughts, your mental thoughts. The sun buffers out the message of your memory of your past lives before you came into this quarantined planet. It also cuts you off from your 5 over self body. There are 5 other bodies of you in the spiritual realm. One of your body you sent down through a soul into this physical realm. And the 5 over selves are waiting to connect back with you. Once you merge the physical, the mental, and the spiritual in one, you're connected back to your over self and can know all that you need to know as given to you by the source. Keys of Enoch 3:12, 1:12. Your body must first be physically ready and spiritually connected, spiritually attuned before it can understand what work you have to do, because you're going to be doing a whole lot of different creative work. So your body, your mind, your spirit have to be at one. Synthesize as one. The sun is a buffer, people. I keep repeating it because I have to let you know it's a buffer of the information coming in and out of your planet to you, but you have your connection still remains with the spiritual realm until you figure out how to reconnect yourself back to the spiritual realm. Keys of Enoch 1:10 verse 14. 5 over self bodies you have waiting to reconnect with you. You can only leave this physical planet in a spiritual manner using one of these over self. The first one, which is waiting for you on the 5th dimension, is your electromagnetic body. The second one, that's on the 6th dimension, is your epikinetic body. The third one, which is on the 7th dimension, is your Eka body. The fourth one, which is on the 8th dimension, is your Gematria body. Your 5th one, which is on the 9th dimension, is your Zohar body. All of them waiting to reconnect back with you via your connection of the physical, the mental, and your spiritual synthesized as one. You're gonna have to calm yourself down. Get rid of the chaos, the anger, the fear, the hatred, all these negative things affecting your life, because that's only keeping you away from attuning yourself back to your over self body. We call it our higher self. That quiet voice, that still voice within you that say, don't do this, don't do that. Nah, that's not good for you. Do this way. That's the still quiet voice that you're connected to via the Holy Spirit, waiting to connect back with you. Keys of Enoch 3:19 verse 76 tells you why you need to reconnect back with your spiritual bodies. The righteous man exit earth plane exit this planet into one of the spiritual bodies directly connected with your over self, so you can't lift up spiritually off this planet until you have reconnected yourself back to at least your electromagnetic body, which is the first step once you quiet down yourself and start pulling in love and righteousness in your life. That's the step that's waiting for you. And the sun and the moon right now are giving you that energy you need to make that reconnection. As long as you see the sign and you move yourself into those signs to make yourself attuned to them. Know, O Israel, I'm talking to the children of Israel now, the ones that are here to do a particular job, because we have done this job many, many times before. The mystery and the lesson, O children of Israel, that were sent here to do a work. The physical vessel, your body alone, cannot complete your mission without that over self reconnected to you. The physical vehicle cannot complete its mission. And right now, it's mission completion time that we are in, where we have to connect back with our spiritual self. Without that higher Christ body, we cannot reconnect and get our mission done. And that's going to happen for us as long as we attune ourselves, because the sun is seeping through the instructions, the information, the light that's needed for you to reconnect back with your Christ body. Make yourself ready, O Israel. Jacob, quiet yourself down. Move back to righteousness. Move back to love. Get rid of anger, hatred, fear, pride, all kind of different egotistic ideas. Calm yourself down. Get rid of that chaos. Can't move into that kingdom in chaos and confusion. No, calm yourself down. Silence your mind as best as you can. Love. Practice love. Love. Practice love. Love your fellow man and woman as you would want them to love you. Do unto them that which you would want them to do unto you. Love is going to get you through, oh Jacob. Now I'm addressing Jacob again. Keys of Enoch 319, verse 78. Those who do not have an over self, because you're not able to connect back to your over self, fret not. That's why I tell you, go back to love. But have lived a righteous life of what? Love. But have lived a righteous life of what? Love. Loving your fellow man and woman as you love yourself. Doing unto people righteously good things as you would want them to do unto you. Not robbing your brothers and sisters. Not stressing them out. Fussing and fighting with them, all kind of negative lies and cruelty to your neighbors. No, war, declaring all kind of world war and civil war and all kind of things. No, that's not the life of love. That's what you've been pushed into all along, because those who came back to repeat the school don't want you to get that over self connection back and leave them here to their own detriment by themselves. So Israelites company, they want to hold you hostage here with them. But I'm here to tell you, practice love. Because if you practice that love, if you practice it, an over self can be acquired by you through the office of the Christ. When that energy and the instruction starts to go out, it will radiate on you, even though you're not doing all the things that Israel might be doing and doing all kind of message and prophet work of Israel. You can still get your over self. Love. I'm going to keep going back to that. Love. Practice love. It will get you through. It will get you connected back to your over self. because you need one of your overself to leave this quarantined location, this planet. Now we go to the Omega, because the program is coming to an end. A time has begun where there are great happenings started already. The earth has already started trembling, and the sun has already started glowing its ray. Isn't it getting hot? Isn't it London burning up? Midwest burning up? Everybody is hot? The UV index going off the chart? The Schumann resonance is spiking all over the place? Glowing rays beginning to burn the surface of this planet. The continent, the entire planet, from one end to the other, shall be touched by these calamities that are coming upon this planet, because it's time to purify the planet of all the ills that have been done to the planet for the past 6,000 years. No creature shall escape. The planet has to be purified. The planet has to get its Sabbath day, its day of rest. No more impure things are poured out on the planet. Volcanoes will erupt to announce the start of that judgment. Hasn't the volcano started to erupt? Wasn't there a volcano erupting in the Canary Islands? It has started, and all of nature will be agitated and move. All kind of waves, big waves from underground earthquakes, all kind of volcano erupting. Everything is going out of the norm right now, because that great happening has started. Now, as we move into the deliverance phase, where the Holy Spirit now, once these signs have started to manifest themselves, we, as those who believe, when these signs start to occur, we shall believe even more. Yes, it was prophesied. Now it's coming through. That's our belief. And there will be many that cannot see these things while they're happening. Because if you don't attune to the energy and the range, the frequency in which these things are happening, you cannot see it. That's what I'm here to tell you. You have the opportunity now to make yourself ready. The Most High and the Lord has given you time to prepare to get the fullness of the gospel, the fullness of the information they have and want you to know, to make yourself ready. So it's not get the information and I have enough knowledge and I'm going to go out and tell everyone and try to make myself impressive. No, the information is to make sure you can change your lower self and find your higher self. Make it benefit you moving from your lower self and finding a way to get to your higher self, which is through love and through righteous living and helping your brothers and sisters as you would want them to help you. Teaching your brothers and sisters that which you are learning, not just locking up the information for yourself. Put out some message. Help the cause so the Most High's words and the Lord's words can spread among his people. The more messengers, the more people getting the information. But at this time, the Holy Spirit within many people shall let them see the signs in heaven and believe them, because they knew these signs were supposed to happen and these things are coming and going to happen. And those who don't believe, they shall believe when they see it, or if they don't see it, they shall go on. Non-believers, academic frauds, because what I'm about to tell you, I'm tearing down a whole lot of lies that you learn all your life. Lies on top of lies, all kind of books that were fabricated and the real information thrown to the sides and locked up until the Holy Spirit and the Lord released the information again. So these negative beings who were kicked back to the lower grades came in and changed up everything. Hide everything from you, because they don't want you to know the path back to finding and reconnecting back to your spiritual self. So they give you lies on top of lies on top of lies. Oh, Lucifer and his children are liars. Extreme liars, psychopathic liars. They're gonna give you lies on top of lies, moving you from the truth, and more lies to embed you on the lies they already given you. But we're here now as the people of the Most High to erase those lies told to you academically within your school system, within your church system, within your family system, within your friend system. Oh, we're gonna tear it down today. We're gonna remove those deliberate effort to deceive you through rewriting your books in false way, plagiarism, fabricating data that doesn't exist, showing you one thing when it's not there. The truth is hidden. No way we're gonna allow them to misrepresent historical data and tampering with all kind of evidence and creating evidence to match the real evidence, but giving you a false one. No more you're gonna suppress our data, no matter how much algorithm, YouTube, and all kind of different platforms put on the truth. It shall come out because the Most High has removed the time limit on when you shall hold us restricted. It's removed in July 2022. So those algorithms can't work that much no more. Our information shall not be suppressed because it's unaccepted and it's not wanted at this time. And you can't steal no more of the truth because the truth is coming out and it shall set the people free. So your menticide stage is done. You cannot undermine the sound mind that the Most High gave us by appealing to the left side of our brain, our conscious brain, and having us not rely on the right side of our brain, our subconscious brain, which holds all the information of the spiritual realm. No more you can brainwash us because we're moving with the spiritual energy that feeds us information from the subconscious part of our mind, the right side of our brain. Now the sun, people, is a flat disc. It's not a round ball as you have led to believe. No, it's a flat disc, which is carrying the positive energy of the spiritual sun, which is also called your Pingala, the positive energy of the cosmic radiation coming from the spiritual sun. It's a flat disk, people. Let's figure out what a disk is. Not a computer disk, but it shapes like a computer disk. Seemingly flat figure of a celestial body. That's a disk. It's a celestial body, which the sun is and the moon is. A celestial body, a flat figure, a flat shape, a flat outline. That's the meaning of disk. So when I use this word later on, don't be confused. But we go back even further in our Webster dictionary. We are going back to a time before the academic frauders begin to change, because they started changing information and meaning as of 1924. That's when they started changing things up. When the Caucasians took rule of the planet, starting in America, that's when the campaign started to erase truth and give you only lies. Disc, as defined in the Webster 1828 dictionary. Disc. What is a disc? What is a disc? The face or breadth, which is the surface of the sun. That's a disc. Let me repeat it for you in case you didn't hear me. Meaning of a disc before they changed it to this later on after 1924. This is after 1924 meaning when they give you this. But this is the true meaning of a disc. The face or surface of the sun or moon. Face or surface of the sun or moon. They are a disc, my people, not a round ball. A disc, flat. They are actually lenses shining the light that's coming up out of our planet, going up to the line, the border at the top of our dome, reflecting back down on these discs and creating the light that you get for the sun and the light you get for the moon. They are refractive lenses. Encircling each planet is a wave of vibration that holds all the beings and all the manifestations of those beings fixed on that planet. So the dome reflects the light reflects back on those two discs, the sun disc, the moon disc, and give you those light. That's what the sun and moon are. They were originally that way until our changers of information changed it to tell you this. Wiped out the whole sun and moon description in the definition. Wiped it out and gave you celestial body, letting you go fish for what it really is. But the original was the face and breath of the sun or moon. They are disc. Don't believe? Let's go into the Bible and prove it out. The book of Enoch, 72 verse 4. Let's prove it out. And first there rises the greater light, named the sun, and its disk is like the disk of heaven. In the heaven it's a disk as well. They're all flat up there. Let me repeat it. Book of Enoch, 72 verse 4. First there rises the greater, the positive light, named the sun, and its disk is like the disk of heaven, full of fire, which gives light and warmth to the flat planet. Can't make it any clearer, but we're going to prove everything I'm telling you. This is your sun and how it's radiating the energy. It's a magnetic energy, an electromagnetic energy being beamed from the inner part of your planet out to the dome, refracting on the dome, the ceiling of this planet, and touching the light disk for the sun and the moon. The sun disk gets the positive energy. The moon disk gets the negative energy. Our job on this planet is to take these two energy, bring them in as one for your own self. We've been getting too much of the negative energy, and we need to balance it off now with the sun's energy. That's why the Most High is opening up the sun buffer so more light can reach you to balance you off with the negative muon neutrinos that are hitting you on this planet. Moving along, right side of your body, people. Right side of your body. That is your positive sun side of your body. It's called your Pingala, the right side. The Pingala, or the right nostril as well. You breathe in. When you breathe, anything you breathe through your right nostril is the sun's energy that's coming in and radiating within you. The right nostril flow, what it's called the solar positive flow, that's masculine. And then feminine is the moon flow. But the sun flow is coming through your right nostril. The flow brings in energy and heat to the body. Isn't it that what it says here? To bring warmth? That's what the right nostril does. It's reacting to the sun's energy and drawing it into your body. It carries the positive. That's what I'm telling you. The sun is split and gets the positive. The positive etheric energy, electrons, to your body. So your right nostril is connected to the sun that's on your planet, within your planet ceiling. That's what it is. It rules your right side, your upper half of your body. That's your sun nostril, which is your right nostril. Let's move along. And I saw the book of Enoch, 18 verse 4. And I saw the winds, which is a coil, the sun is moved on a coil around the planet, and I'll demonstrate that to you shortly. But it's on a coil, which is called wind in the Bible, because the wind moves in a certain pattern, and this coil, electromagnetic coil, moves in a certain pattern which carries the sun. And I saw the winds which turned the sky and caused the disk of the sun and all the stars to set. So this wind, this coil, moves the sun, the stars, and the skies with it. That's what it's doing. It's moving in a circular pattern around the portion of the planet that we're occupying right now. And I saw that same electromagnetic coil on the earth, which supports the cloud, and I saw the path of the angel, and I saw the end of the earth, the firmament of the heavens above. Our planet, the way it's cut off right now, we have an end to the occupied zone, and there's another zone that is not occupied by us at this time. I call it the unquarantined zone, but you are right now in the quarantine zone, and I'll demonstrate that to you shortly. Book of Enoch 72 verse 2, and this is the first law of the light called the sun. It's rising in the gates of heaven towards the east, and its setting is in the west. So your sun rises in the east, sets in the west, but it's not rising and setting. It's moving on that coil from the right, which is the east, going to the west, to the leftward, and it keeps spinning in a circle on that coil. The coil is called the gates, which it comes through. It spins in 6 different patterns on the right side and another 6 pattern on the left side, giving it 12 gates. And I saw 6 gates from the sun rising, that's on the right side, which is on the east side, and then another 6 gate on the west side, which is where it sets. The moon also rises in these same gates. The moon moves on that same electromagnetic coil, and it keeps moving at a different rate of speed than the sun. That's why it's moving through the transition, full moon, partial full, half full, and then no fullness of the moon. And it starts a new day in the moon cycle on the same magnetic coil, going through the same gates, just doing it at a different rate of speed. Book of Enoch 75 verse 4. Likewise, Uriel showed me 12 openings in the disk of the channel of the sun. The sun disk is moving through 12 different paths, as I've shown you here. 6 on the east side, 6 on the west side, 6 related to rising, 6 related to setting. It's setting different times. If you watch the sun progression throughout the year, you see it's getting closer to you, then it moves away from you, depending on where you are. It's going to be coming to you, then move away. That's the gate that it's going through, giving it a different location to spin, to rise in, and to set in. The positive light ray of the sun comes out, and from it, heat as well, which we have demonstrated. It gives you light and warmth. That's your sun. The moon is also a flat disk. The moon is also a flat disk, not a round ball that you've been told, and man landing on it and all kind of lies. No one landed on no moon. It's a flat refractive glass shining light down on your planet. They're not landing anywhere. Lies on top of lies. The moon gives off that negative energy coming from your etheric sun, your etheric spiritual sun. As I've told you, the etheric energy is broken into 2 pieces. The positive goes to the sun, the negative goes to the moon. It hits the ceiling of the dome, refract, meaning it reflects down, separating the positive to one disk, the negative to another disk, giving 2 different lights moving around the earth at different rate of speed. Book of Enoch 73, verse 1. And this is after the law of the lesser light, the negative light, the feminine light, named the moon. And the moon's disk is like the disk of the sun. They're the same flat disk, people. Not round ball up in the sky, have you been told, and man landing on moon, and all kind of nonsense, lies on top of lies. The blindfolds are off, my people. It's off. And the wind, the electromagnetic coil, which moves that sun, which moves that moon in the path, the channel. It's the same one for the sun and the moon. Fixed measures of light it gets depending on where the moon is in relationship to the sun. That's the sun and the moon in a nutshell, my people. They're both flat discs and they are alike in size and the distance away from the planet. The moon gets the negative energy of the spiritual sun, which is the muon neutrino given to the moon. And again, our job is to bring the two energies together, breathing properly through both nostrils and balancing that energy, because the Ida, which is the left nostril, flows what is called what? The lunar feminine flow, the moon feminine flow. So anything coming from the moon is coming through your left nostril. It's a cold type of energy. If you measure the temperature of the moon, it's cold there, people. It gives off a cold energy because it's the sun that gives you the warm energy. The left side of your body and the left nostril regulates the distribution of fluid within your body, and it keeps down excessive heat because it's a cold energy. It carries only negative etheric energy coming to you, streaming to you from the moon. Its energy has influence over your body, and you have to learn how to balance it with your right nostril, with the right side of your body as well. If you get too much of this cold energy, this moon lunar energy, it lodges into whatever part of the body. It's going to create vulnerable spots. It's going to create weak spots in your body if too much of it is accumulated in your body. That's what's happening to us right now. That's why we're so sick. We're pulling in more of the moon energy than the sun energy because someone gave you a brilliant idea that you shouldn't get too much sun and you should put on sunscreen and you should wear sunglasses and all kind of nonsense on top of nonsense. But you need that sun energy to balance with your moon energy. And the sun energy is going to give you back that immunity to sickness and diseases because the sun energy burns up all the negative disease and sickness. You notice when you're sick or you get a flu, what does your body do? Immediately, your body starts heating up. Your temperature start getting high because it's pulling in more of the sun's energy to burn up that sickness and that disease. And what does the wonderful doctor tell you to do? Go put an ice pack on yourself. You're getting too hot. They're giving you back the Ida energy that was making you sick in the first place. That's what we're moving away from because the truth has to be given to you. Both energies are needed. Ida is the cold. Pingala is the warm. You need the warm and the cold to be balanced. That's how you bring yourself back to your spiritual body. The moon and its disk again. The moon is a disk. Book of Enoch 78:14. The moon and its disk remains empty without light when the moon and the sun are in the same constellation, the same place at the same time. No moonlight. That's when the moon is not full. But the moon is a disk. The sun and the moon are the same size. One more academic fraud and menticide we're going to throw in the trash. The sun and the moon are the same size. Book of Enoch 72 verse 37. And don't you know, people, the book of Enoch was in your Holy Bible, and they took it out because it tells you too much at a time when you don't need to know too much, according to those who came back to this planet to repeat school. Let's trick up the new students so we can make them fail their graduation time. None of that anymore. Book of Enoch 72 verse 37. And the sun's light, it is 7 times brighter than the moon's light. But the moon in size and the sun in size, the two are equal. The sun and the moon are the same size, my people. Not what they have told us, where the sun is this big thing and the moon is this small thing. Look in the skies, my people. Use your own sound mind. Look at the sun and see the size of it. And later on, when the moon shows up, see that they're the same size. No one is bigger than the other. Not one is far, one is further away, so it looks a little smaller when it's actually bigger. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. Same size, my people. Take it from the words of the Most High, not from what these dark beings have been telling you. What proof have they given you to come and tell you they're not the same size? None. They just give you that information. Hopefully you can run with it. Going back to the book of the law, which is the book of truth, that will tell you the truth. The moon in size and the sun in size are equal. Book of Enoch 78 verse 3. These are the two great lights, the sun and the moon. Their disk, it's a disk again. Don't forget that it's a flat disk, a flat glass, reflective glass that reflects light. Their disk is like the disk of heaven, and in size the two are equal. The sun and the moon size are equal. Nonsense about one is bigger than the other, and the sun is billions and billions of light years away. Lies! The sun is in the ionosphere, waiting for the children of the Most High to achieve the connectivity of their physical, mental, and spiritual, so the Most High can take the sun away and take the moon away as well. Isaiah 30 verse 26. You don't think this is in your Bible, right? The version that they gave you. But they left a piece in there. But they didn't tell us. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun. They are the same. The moon is the same as the light of the sun. Same size, same distance away from the planet. And the light of the sun shall be 7 times brighter than the light of the moon. Isn't that what it says? Isn't that what it says, my people? Isn't that what it says right here? Same thing matching up the book of Enoch 72:37. And its light is 7 times that of the moon. Telling you the same thing in Isaiah 30 verse 26. The moon and the sun are the same size, same distance, and the sun is 7 times brighter than the moon. Isaiah 30 verse 26, in a nutshell, telling you the same thing. The 4 layers of what's giving you your daytime, your nighttime, your moonlight, and your sunlight. The 4 layers of the planet that's confined, that's locked up in the ceiling, that wave of vibration that holds your state of manifestation on this planet. 4 layers: earth, water, air, fire. That's what it really is. Before I tell you about earth, water, air, fire, know that you are in a ceiling, a sealed location. You're in a dome, my people. You're in a dome. You're locked in. Emerald tablets of Thoth, the Atlanteans, tablet 15, secrets of secrets. Now it's time for you to know the secret and believe the secret, because Thoth is the Lord. He gave us the information in another book On earth, man and woman is in bondage. You are in a quarantine zone. You're bonded in that zone, bound, locked up, enclosed by space and time to this planet. Encircling your planet is an electromagnetic ring, a wave of vibration which binds you in only being in that location, manifesting in that location, living in only that location in the galaxy. You can't get off this planet until you have brought back your physical, your mental, and your spiritual in one. Or if you have practiced love and you have gotten back your overself by practicing love, it's given back to you and you can break free of that electromagnetic wave. You're in that wave. The sun is gradually being removed to bring down that wave of vibration, but only those who are ready to go beyond that wave of vibration will be allowed. Even though the vibration is being removed, those who don't make themselves ready shall be removed to go repeat back school. But you are locked in by a wave of vibration which encircles. It surrounds your part of the planet you are occupying. We'll go to that in a moment. Book of Enoch 18 verse 1. And I saw the storehouses. It's where these electromagnetic coils are. It's stored up energy on each of the coil that's related to whatever function that's needed to be done on the planet. All the winds, which is the earth, water, air, fire, that's stacked in different layers of the planet between the earth layer and the heavenly layers. And I saw 4 winds which support the earth and the sky, 4 layers between the earth level reaching up to the spirit level, which is the sky level, 4 levels between it. And I saw the winds which reached out over the heights of heaven, and how the air, water, fire position themselves between heaven and earth, and they are pillars of heaven. They're stacked as layers between the earth, which is the land, the physical plane, and up above, which is the ionosphere, which is in the spiritual zone, the galaxy zone. There's a stacking there, and that helps to create the moon energy and the sun energy. And I saw the earth, water, air, fire, which turns in the sky because it's on that magnetic coil as well, and it's moving, same as how the sun and the moon and the stars are moving. They're not fixed, my people. They're moving. It's a flat planet moving with the galaxy energy, but the planet itself in relationship to its sun. The sun is moving and the planet moves gradually. And I saw the winds turn the sky and cause a disk of the sun and all the stars to set. So it's on a motion timer. It's perfectly timed, people. Perfectly timed to give you when it's sun, to give you the moon, to give you signs in the sky related to the stars, to give you signs related to the clouds. It's all fixed and moving in an orderly manner. And I saw the earth, water, air on the earth, which supports the cloud. It's there as well. I saw at the end of the earth, the firmament of heaven above. Again, there's an end to the earth that you're occupying. It's an end. It's a flat location, people. It's not round as how they've given you. We'll get to that. Bear with me. These are the 4 layers of your atmosphere that is being talked about in the book of Enoch. Earth, which is what you're actually on. On earth, it's a combination of the earth, which is the solid landmass, and water, because the planet has the 2. Solid ground and water. And then above the solid ground and the water, there's more water. That's called the troposphere. That's the water layer. Then that takes you now into the air, which cover the gray and the blue line, which is the stratosphere and the mesosphere. Those are the air layers, pillars. See, they look like pillars lined up across in a horizontal way, horizontal pillars. Then you move to the fire layers. That's where the sun and the moon activity takes place. The thermosphere and the exosphere. And what it is, those are where the fire gases are accumulated. All these different air, water, fire, these are gases. Water has its own gas, H2O. That's the water layer. Then air has its own set of gas. Fire has its own set of gases, which are causing the skies and the layers of the skies to look the way it looks. That's the four winds that's talked about by Enoch. Earth, water, air, fire. And this is the layout of it. Earth, water, air, fire. The fire, which is creating the heat of the sun, the light of the sun, and the moon light, is in the ionosphere section of those four layers. So all your sun activity, all your moon activity is at that point. It's 5,500 kilometers from planet Earth. That's where the sun and the moon are. That's where they're located. And they're of the same size, 50 kilometers in diameter. They are flat refractive glass, which connects the light coming from the ceiling, that ring of vibration, reflect on those glass and give you light. One is a positive light, one is a negative light. This is what's being talked about in the book of Enoch. The 7 elements are gases that composed of the sun. The sun has 7 parts to it, 7 elements to it that must radiate in the ionosphere in order for sunlight to be produced. 7 different gases are in the thermosphere, in the exosphere, to cause the sun to radiate light. Those are the 7 gases that are in that part of the pillar in the ionosphere. Helium, hydrogen, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radium. Those are the 7 layers that are in that part of the atmosphere, producing and radiating your sunlight. They're also called noble gases because they don't match with any other gas but themselves. So the pilot light, that positive light that's coming from the spiritual sun, is going to ignite each of them individually. All 7 of them together won't start combining and creating a new element. They need a catalyst, an independent source to ignite them by themselves. That's why those 7 layers are stacked in the atmosphere to create your sunlight. Let's go to Enoch and ask Enoch about it. Book of Enoch, 18 verse 6. And I went towards the south, and it was a burning day and night. Because again, that radiation of sunlight is only for that particular zone. If it's not radiating that sunlight, that zone is dark. But it's still on a flat plane, and I'm going to give you demonstrations of it so you see visually what's happening and what Enoch is seeing, where there were 7 mountains of precious stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south, that were producing that burning light. The 7 mountains are layers of the planet in the ionosphere, where those 7 different gases are stacked one on top of the other to produce the radiation of sunlight, to produce fluorescent light. It's a light bulb, people. The positive energy from the spiritual sun is called a pilot light, like your main light in your oven that's always on, and as soon as you put the gas on it, whoop, it lights up. Same principle. As soon as that pilot light, which is the radium gas that's turned into fire, touches the other 6 gases, whoop, it ignites and creates for you that fluorescent daylight. 3 of the gases have specific color, like the neon gas has a reddish, orangish, yellowish color. The argon has a purplish color, and the krypton has a blue color. Helium, hydrogen, xenon, radium have no color at all. That's why I put them in green. Let's proof it out in Isaiah 30, verse 26. The light of the sun shall be sevenfold. The light of the sun shall be sevenfold. 7 different gases have to be charged up. 7 different gases have to be ionized in order to produce sunlight. And I'll give you a demonstration of that. 7 different gases have to be combined. One of those gases, radium, which is in a fire form, has to combine with the other 6 gases in order to create fluorescent daylight. When you put the pilot light against those 6 gases, it forms a sunlight, a fluorescent light. That's what's happening in your skies. Each day, that sunlight never goes out. When it sets, it doesn't mean it goes away. It just goes to another location of the planet. But that pilot light is radiating those 6 ionosphere gases in whatever part of the planet that pilot light is located at that time. When it moves from that location, those gases cool off, and that's how you get sunset. And then the night sets in because there is no light. That's how it was created for you in a sun system, my people. Those towards the east were of colored stone. One was of a pearl color, one was of a healing stone, and those towards the south were of a red stone. They're different gases. They're giving you the color of the gases. They're not stones. They're gases used in an allegorical term as stone. And in the middle, one of those reached to the heaven. That's the pilot light I'm telling you about. That pilot light that moves to the left, moves to the right, and create that fluorescent light for rising of the sun, setting of the sun. That's what is being described to you. The function of how the sunlight is created. And the one that's the pilot light is like a sapphire color. All it's telling you, its color is of that stone color. Pilot light. That's what's being described to you here. How the sun is made as a fluorescent light, one pilot light, which is one of those 7 gases, combining with the other 6 gases to form sunlight. That sunlight is constant. It never comes off. It's just moving from one location in a circular pattern around that flat planet. Moving around and around and around, giving light to that section of the planet that it's at that time. And keep moving in that circular pattern. It moves on that electromagnetic coil where it comes close to the middle of the coil. Then it starts to go back out and out and out until it reaches the last of the 6th coil. And then it starts to come back in again, in again, in again, till it reaches the first. And then it moves back out to the 6th. And it keeps doing that, giving you your different season and the sun in different locations. That's the sun, but it's a disk radiating a light, the spiritual light, the positive portion of it. Book of Enoch 78 verse 4. In the disk of the sun are 7 parts of light, 7 layers of gases that form that sun, which are added to the sun to form sunlight, that fluorescent light. And it's constantly burning. It's never exhausted. Always burning, but just moving from one location to the other. So if it's in your location, when it moves out of your location, it's exhausted for that location. And then your sun begins to set. Darkness starts to roll in and it moves to another location. Book of Enoch 18 verse 11. And I saw a deep chasm which is a large opening, a large hole of the earth where that sunlight, that pilot light, is coming out of the ground, shining up to the ceiling of the dome. That pillar of heavenly fire shining up to the dome. There is a deep opening in your planet, people. It's in the part of your planet called Hyperborea. We're going to cover that shortly. But it's wiped off your current map that you're looking at. If you go to Google and all different places, it's not there. But it's there. Never gone anywhere, just taken away. But it's there. Which brings us to book of Enoch 18 verse 12. And beyond this opening, this hole in the center of your planet, I saw a place. Neither the sky above is there, nor the foundation of the earth is there. Nothing is there. It's an open void. It has no water on it, no birds, and it was a deserted place. That's where your second sun is located. That's a black sun, as they call it. It only gives off negative energy. It's a black matter sun that radiates all the life force energy that's upon this planet. And that black sun radiates upon a pyramid that radiates out radium, which is one of the 7 gases, the pilot light that goes to the sun. That's coming out of that opening as the pillar of heavenly fire. That's how it's being produced. And this is an example of what is going on beneath the planet and above the planet. Your planet is a flat planet, my people. There's an opening at the North Pole area of your planet on a block of land called Hyperborea. We'll go through that in a second. But below the surface of the planet, that opening that Enoch had seen, and there's nothing below. That's where the black sun sits. That black sun carries a lot of energy that radiates up to a pyramid that stands at Hyperborea below, but it's pointing always through that hole at Hyperborea. And it's pointing always to that dome spot, that dome ceiling, and always refracting back on the sun, because the sun is drawing its positive energy from that pyramid, which is radiating the gas radium. And radium is the pilot light to radiate the other 6 gases that are in the atmosphere. If you look at the diagram, the circle below where you see those 7 different colors, that's when radium reacts in the ionosphere to charge up those gases, those other 6 gases, to create the sun color and light. That's what's going on in your sky. But know that there is a coil moving that below, and there's a coil moving things above, synchronizing all that's going on above with all that's going on below. It's all synchronized in the creation of the sun above, the sun below. This is what it looks like below and above. Only thing that's not here is the pyramid that's sitting at Hyperborea, which is pointing directly to the sun refraction point, which is at the dome above. The chasm at the opening of Hyperborea. Because it's there, people. It's not on your map, but it's there. It's there. Let's talk about that opening. We go to this book. It's called The Inner Earth by Dr. Dorial. At the present time, there is a great pyramid of force or energy which is in that opening, which is always pointing at that opening at Hyperborea. It is immense. It's a huge pyramid. It is like a flaming mass of radium, one of the gas, the pilot light gas that's needed to react with the other 6 gases to form fluorescent sunlight. Flaming mass of radium casting out invisible spark of itself. Radium is invisible. It doesn't have a color and it's odorless. So it's going to pass through people, the planet, and everything else without you seeing it or smelling it, but it's radiating above. You cannot see it because you're in a physical nature and you don't have your spiritual connectivity to see these gases move in their invisible form. Because in the spiritual form, they can be seen, radiating constantly and casting its invisible spark of itself to the sun. The tip of that pyramid always points towards the sun, always pointing up, refracting its energy to the sun. Always, not sometimes, always. It remains always fixed in a certain position in space. It's always pointing to that refractive glass, up to that refraction, and refract down to create the sun's energy, that radium that's radiating with the sun's glass, acting upon the other 6 gases that are needed to form sunlight. Here it is again. We call it the fixed portion. We call it the polaris. It's fixed. That light is always fixed. That radium, that pyramid that's casting out the radium is always fixed, refracting back to the sun, creating sunlight using radium mixed with the other 6 noble gases. That's your sun. Let's talk about the planet that we're on, because we've been hearing a lot of things that our planet is round and it's a ball and all kind of different lies on top of lies on top of lies. So we're here to get rid of all those lies. Keys of Enoch 109 verse 50 tells us, thus each person can be taken off his planetary disk and go to another star system disk before the sun on his planet destroy him or destroy the planet when that sun is gradually being removed, which is what we're going through right now. That's why your sun is heating up. It's heating up your planetary disk because your planet is flat. Remember what a disk is. It's a flat celestial body. Your planet is flat, my people. Inner Earth by Dr. Doriel. First, the ancients say. First, the ancients say. First, the people of the ancient knowledge, true wisdom say. The earth is not a solid ball, but composed of certain definite sections. It's a flat earth with various sections of rocks, water, molten rocks, more space, inner sun, pyramid, passage that's moving the electromagnetic coil below to match the electromagnetic coil movement above. Those are the layers of your planet. But it's not a solid ball. It's a disk, as demonstrated to you here. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. Your planet is not a round ball, and we're going to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Bear with me, my people, as we go through this. We go to your moon. We go to your moon. Oh, people, we get to the crux of it. We go to your moon. Whenever you get a chance, after you watch this message, go test it yourself. Go take a picture of your moon, or go get a good picture of your moon that's out there on the internet. But this is a picture of your moon. Close-up picture. Notice the landscape. Notice the landscape. Notice it, I tell you. The white portion of the moon, that's where light is being reflected. The dark portion of the moon, that's where land is being reflected. The white portion of the moon, that's where water is being reflected. When you shine light on water, it gets magnified and show as white. That's what it is, your moon. But your moon is a selfie of your planet, the planet that you're living on. Let me repeat, the moon is a reverse image, a reverse selfie of the planet that you're living on. Because remember, it's a flat disk of a reflective disk. It's reflecting what's down below. It's showing it back to you in reverse. Because if you look at something in a mirror, it's going to be reversed. So you have to flip that moon. Flip that moon vertically to get the image to match what you are seeing below. Turn around that reversal flip, and you shall see the planet as it is. And here it is when we flip it over. Flip it vertically, and you shall see the planet that you are on. That's what your moon is. It's reflecting the image of the earth below. The landmass is in black. The water and the oceans are in white. Those holes that you see on the moon, those are craters on your planet, not somewhere far distant or the moon by itself, because man has been landing on the moon. Lie! The moon is a refracted glass showing you what's below. All you have to do is reverse it, flip it vertically, and the moon is giving you a map of your planet. Let me walk you through the map of your planet. Let me walk you through it, giving you the selfie, the original, and then the flip version. That's what I want you to pay attention to, because the next slide we're going to go to is going to open up this map and show you all the lies on top of lies on top of lies that has been given unto us, telling you your planet is round and your planet is this and your planet is that. No, it's a flat planet, and let's prove it out. Here is it. Once you flip it over and you start getting the landmass geography, that's your planet. The areas that are colored on the right-hand side, that's the known part that you're quarantined in. You're in a quarantine zone within a quarantined planet. 2 quarantine going on. You're in a quarantine zone, my people. You're being quarantined on a quarantine planet within a quarantine zone of that planet. So the areas to the left-hand side of whichever map you're looking at, that's the unknown side to you, that you're not permitted to go there. You're quarantined on the right-hand side of that map. Take a look. Match them up. Match up your moon image. Match them up. That's why I put them next to each other. You see the continent of Africa. It's not what they're giving you on their Google map. Lies on top of lies on top of lies. Africa is pointing up. It's not right next to South America and North America. It's not the same size as North America. Lies. North America is a bit of a speck on the whole map of the planet. Just a small portion of it. But because the Gentiles took over in America, and to show you all kind of thing that the America is important, they make it supersized so it can be the same as Africa. Lies! You can fit America in Africa almost 10 times. No way! It's the same size. But this is the map that the moon has been giving you an image of your planet the whole time, but no one came and told us. They kept that for themselves and gave you that small portion on your Google map as the planet, the entire planet. And it's round. It wraps from one place to the next place. If you move from what? They usually tell you, if you move from Africa and you keep going east, you're going to end up back at America. Lies, all lies to keep you in bondage, to make sure that you don't know what is to come when the time comes, because they know, they had to have known at some point the Father is going to give us back our information. The Most High and the Lord are going to give us back our information and set us free from this bad information, this misinformation, this theft of information, and let us know that we're involved in something bigger than what we're being told. The entire planet is now available for you to know what planet you're on and what's there. Take a good look at it, because those other lands, we're going to cover them in other messages, but I'm going to show you the land that you are on right now. This is the land that you're on, that area that's in the circle. 3 different circles that are there, which shows you your quarantined zone. The outer circle, the last one, that's the limits of your quarantine zone. That's what we call in our modern time the Antarctica. Antarctica isn't confined to South America, my people. It's the entire circle of that outer line, that Antarctica. Many land masses are out there. Then on the inner side, that's where we get into our temperature zones, the various temperature. But take a look at what's being presented to you as your known parts of the planet. Only that is given to you by all these controllers who try to control the information flow and what you know about the planet that you are on. That's what I'm here to tell you. Take a good look as I blow it up for you so you can see what parts of the planet you are occupying versus the other parts of the planet that are unoccupied, where it's quarantined. You can't go there until the judgment, until the tribulation has ended. Then it's allowed, then it's permissible for the whole planet to be opened up to everyone. This is what I have to share with you today, my people. A complete and accurate map of the planet Earth that you're on. You're only occupying the zone that's called the known zone for our time. But there are unknown continents, unknown lands on the planet Earth that has been quarantined away from you, where you can't enter those lands until the tribulation is over, when the quarantine has been removed from the area that you're now occupying, which is the known area for you, and you get to now occupy the unknown areas. This is a complete and accurate picture of your planet as given to you by the moon sign, which the Father has promised unto you in Luke 21 verse 25. This moves us now to the area that you are currently occupying, the known zones, the climate zone. That's the zone where the sun is moving in a circular manner and giving you heat wherever it's passing over that area, and giving you sunlight wherever it's passing over that area. And it's moving on the equatorial line. It moves up to the Arctic line, then it moves down to the Antarctic line, giving you your different climate zones. But it's only circulating within the known part of the planet. The unknown parts of the planet is not getting any portion of that sun. The sun is only centered around the area that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. It's within the known region. In later messages, we'll talk about how the sun is going to move into other zones in the unknown areas of the planet. But for now, this is where the sun is concentrated on. First, it beams out through the Arctic, that red dot that you see on the right-hand side map. That's where Hyperborea is. That's where the sun radiation, that radium flaming gas that's coming out of the planet, that's coming from the inner Earth, going up to the dome, that's where it's coming from. And it's shining its light down back on the sun disk, and the sun disk is moving in a circular manner, creating the climatic zone. But people, I want to stress this over and over and over again. Your moon sign is telling you what's on your planet. It's a map of your planet, not the map that you see on Google Map, not the map that you see on Google Earth, not the map that you see in your books, not the maps that you see in your geography books. Those are all fabricated maps based on the academic frauds that were running around, giving you all kind of untruth information. The Most High has written your planet and the images and the landmass and the oceans and the craters on your moon. He has also put in the locations of the stars and all the galaxies on your moon image. But that's for a later date. But know that you are on a planet and you're only occupying a small portion of the planet, the known section that has colored on the left-hand side of your screen, and then the other section that's in that dark gray, that's the unknown section that shall be opened up to you when the tribulations are done. All the landmass shall be open, which brings us to where we're going with all this information, because now I've introduced you to earth, water, air, fire. Now you have to match that up, all of them with the spirit, and that's where the movement is going next. You have to join all 5 elements as part of your reconstruction from a physical being to a spiritual being. All of this has to come together, bringing the sun's energy and the moon energy together and making sure that all the layers of the planet, the layers of the heaven, rain down on you when it says, I shall rain down the manna of heaven on you. That's where the spirit now is raining down from above, coming through your sun, coming through the dome, because the dome is gradually being removed, and spiritualizing you with all the manner, the spiritual nourishment coming in from all different directions and all parts of the galaxy, with instructions in it to turn back on your DNA and your RNA so you can be at one with your 5 over self and become the Adam Cadman that you are, oh children of Israel, children of Judah. Jacob, it's now your time to change your name to Israel, because the removal of the ceiling is near, and I want to make sure you are ready for that moment. Because going back to Isaiah 30 verse 26, the Lord on the 7th day, which is when the 7th seal is open, the Lord told Melchizedek, Jehovah, he's going to bring to an end all the breach of the children of Israel, all the breaches that they put us under, all the affliction, all the lies, all the suppression, all the hatred, all the slavery, involuntary slavery and voluntary slavery, all of those for those 400 years, and most of all, taking away the knowledge of who we are and our connection back to the Most High via His law, especially His law of love and the covenant that He has made with us. You are my people and I am your Lord, taking away all of those from us. But He, the Most High and the Lord told Melchizedek, will bind up, will close up those breaches of His people that shall be closed up, and He shall heal all the attack that were made on the children of Israel, because He told you, those who knowingly afflict Israel and afflicted them, knowing who they are, shall be put to the sword. They shall fight amongst themselves in civil wars and world war, and after they escape the fighting among themselves, they shall be walked right into the fire, the purifier, Red Kachina, as told to you by the Hopi prophecy, the dragon tail, as told to you by Mother Shipton, the fearful constellation, as told to you in 2nd Ezra, the destroyer, as told to you in the Colburn Bible, all different names meaning the same thing. The fire shall rain down upon the land and clear it all, so the whole thing can be opened up again, fresh and new. Stand strong strong, O children of Israel. Stand strong, O children of Judah. Stand strong, O children of Jacob. Stand strong, O children of Ephraim, in the name of the Most High. Allah, Yah, Yod-Heh, Vah-Heh, Elohim, God in our modern day name, and in the name of the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah, praise be unto you always and forever praises.